One of the most important things we learn as we grow is that not everyone deserves full access to us. Not everyone deserves access to our energy and our peace or our vulnerability or the deepest parts of who we are. And that's not cold. It's not selfish. It's emotional maturity. Welcome to Soul Time, a show that explores the world of unlocking your unique potential. My name is Dr. Katja Makowka and I'm a teacher at school, a former teacher at universities, and a stress and mental coach. And I'm your host. Many of us grew up believing that being a good person meant always being available, always explaining, always understanding, always giving people another chance. And while kindness matters deeply, there is something important many people never learned. Love does not require unlimited access. Just because we care about someone does not automatically mean they should have full access to our thoughts, our emotions, our time, or our inner peace. And yet, so many people move through life feeling emotionally exhausted because they keep handing out front row seats to people who repeatedly drain, disrespect, misunderstand, or destabilize them. Not because they are weak, often because they are deeply caring people. People who want harmony, people who try to see the good in others, people who overextend themselves, hoping relationships will eventually feel balanced if they just give enough. But at some point, many of us realize something painful but freeing. Access and connection are not the same thing. Someone can have constant access to us and still not truly value us. And someone can deeply care for us while still respecting space, boundaries, and emotional balance. And real connection doesn't demand that we constantly sacrifice ourselves to keep other people comfortable. Real connection respects our peace too. And honestly, this becomes especially important in a world where so much is shared constantly. Thoughts, emotions, opinions, personal struggles. And sometimes we feel pressure to explain ourselves all the time so others understand our intentions, our choices, our boundaries, our decisions. But not everyone is trying to understand us. Some people simply want access. Access to our intention, access to our emotional energy, access to reactions. And the moment we begin to understand that, something shifts internally. We stop feeling guilty for protecting parts of ourselves. We stop believing that every disagreement requires an explanation. And we stop thinking that saying no means we are bad people, because emotional maturity is realizing that boundaries are not punishment. They are protection of our peace, our energy, our clarity, and our emotional well-being. And maybe one of the hardest lessons is understanding that not everyone will like this version of us. The version that no longer over-explains. The version that no longer says yes to everything. The version that pauses before automatically giving access to our time and emotional space, because people often feel most comfortable with a version of us that had no boundaries at all. But growth changes things. Healing changes things. And we are allowed to change too. Not from anger, not from bitterness, but from awareness, from realizing that constantly abandoning ourselves to maintain connection is not healthy love. And what's beautiful is that children absorb this lesson too. They watch how we manage relationships. They notice whether we constantly tolerate disrespect just to avoid disappointing people. They notice whether we feel guilty for taking care of ourselves. And through those observations, they slowly build their own understanding of self-worth. They learn whether love means self-abandonment or whether love and self-respect are allowed to exist together. Because one of the most powerful things we can model is this: we can be deeply kind without giving everyone unlimited access to us. We can care about people and still need distance. And we can protect our peace without becoming cold. And maybe that's what emotional maturity really looks like. And not shutting people out, not building walls around ourselves, but learning discernment. Learning that trust is earned, that access should be intentional, that our inner world deserves care too, because not everyone deserves a front row seat to our lives. Some people are meant to stand close, and some people are meant to stay further away. And some relationships simply change as we grow. And that's absolutely okay, because protecting our peace is not selfish at all. Sometimes it's exactly what allows us to stay soft, to stay grounded, to stay loving and emotionally healthy in a world that constantly pulls at our energy. And maybe today is simply an invitation to reflect on that gently. Who truly brings calm, safety, encouragement, and serenity into our lives? And where are we still giving front row access out of guilt, fear, habit, or the hope of finally being understood? Because our energy matters, our peace matters, and learning where to place our emotional attention is not selfish at all. It's wisdom. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Soul Time. I'm very grateful because you have given me the greatest treasure of your life, your time. If you enjoyed this episode, click the subscribe button so that you get a notification every time a new episode is out.